3B family? This is Sean Frye, 3B Comics, Biff Bam Comics, and we're jumping right back in with YS series. This is part 2. I'm talking about the 3 and 4 with this one, similar to how I did 1 and 2 on the last one. This one is called Gas Run, and like any good story, like when you drive, doing transportation, you got a vehicle, you got to put gas in it, and that was like the next story. With this one, now that the group has been established in the last 2 books, this one was pretty straightforward. This is their first thing set up. Trish wants to know what were their plans to get to go forward, like outside of the city, and Jax literally told him that he was on his way to see his brother. Yeah, he was going to a funeral. And early on with the story, I wanted to tell where it was something tragic that happened, but you don't know. Since they're in Gravewater and they see all these zombies and things, the journey was to get to St. Louis to see his brother at his funeral. The thing is that they're stuck in this little small town that's full of zombies, but they don't know if St. Louis is overrun with zombies or it's a global thing. It's just stuff is happening and they're trying to make clarity of their small little situation. And Kelly was down for the ride because she really didn't have anywhere she wanted to go, and it's best when she finds somebody, try to stay alive together, stay as a collective. And Jax gave them that something to live for. That's what they needed as characters. They needed a purpose, and that's what the purpose was for this whole story, was just to go to his brother's funeral, say goodbye to his brother. And that's pretty much Trish pretty much understanding that Jax as a character needed to know what happened to his brother, and she was down for it just simply because she knows he's going through something, and most likely she knows that pretty much if it happened here, it can happen in especially the larger cities around the world. It can happen anywhere. But she knew that he needed this as a character, and that's pretty much what I set up for him. And this one, gas tank ran out again, and Jackson knows this. He was like, what we gotta do now? And then Kelly pretty much said, we got a gas run. And that's where my little gas station I created in this world called Last Stop, that was just a little humor just to throw into the series. Pretty much this gas station represents pretty much the end of the world, and that's what it was, the Last Stop. And as the characters go in, Jackson, Trish go try to break into the store to cut the gas pumps on, because before this, Jax as a character, I don't know if I really introduced this into the story. That's what Jax did before he that was like his main job before all of this happened. He worked at a gas station. That's pretty much what it was. He wanted to come up with something really practical for the character. I was like, okay, this is what he did. He worked at gas stations, and that was like the motivation, because I wanted to come up with a cool way and a smart way to introduce the characters and what they did for a living. Like Trish, like before this, like she did like a lot of martial arts training, and she worked at like a gym, and like her hobby was to collect swords. That's explained why she had swords, and she was a good swordsman, because that was like her hobby, like before all of this. Didn't really think pretty much past that. That was just like the cool little layouts. They break into the store. Jax makes a couple of jokes, like showing off that he's still pretty much valuable to the team, even though it's just cutting pumps on in the gas station. When he gets overrun by one of the shop, he gets overrun by the shop owner as Kelly pumping gas, and it's a whole struggle inside the store. And Trish lays him out, putting the sword clean through the head, and from there it brings more zombies, and that's pretty much everything. Keeps happening. Something weird happens. Zombie Horde comes, and the group has to deal with it. And that's pretty much the storytelling I want to do with it. Keep it fun, lose fast, pace, load up the car, get everybody in, get supplies. From here, Jax pretty much lays out a trail of gas because they trying to create an explosion. So they cutting gas pump lines, pouring gasoline everywhere that they're not going to use, just to combat the horde of zombies coming. And make a little joke. Literally, this is going to be the last stop. Trish ignites the fumes with her blade going across the ground, which sparks out of the fire that blows up all the pumps, and that's where they escape from there. And then that was like their initial now leaving Gravewater, and that's where this story ends right here, and then we pick up with the next one and 4. And this one is called El Paso Motel. This is a cool little Easter egg for another story, because I used the same building in one of my other series with Otto and Waco. That was like the cool little Easter egg that I did with this one, where it's a building that's in 2 different universes. It's called the El Paso Motel. Everybody fell asleep in the car when they get like a little message over her system that looking for survivors and stuff, and they're debating on whether they want to actually go to them, because they don't know if they can trust them, if it's a trap, it's set up. You never know, and that was like the debate between 2, and then ultimately the curiosity got the best of them, and then they ride through to the hotel, and they notice like a light on it, and that's when they slowly start to investigate the grounds, check see all the layout, pool, upper deck, just to make sure everything looked safe and was cool. And then out of there, a zombie jumps out of one of the windows and attacks Trish, separates her from a sword, and she's struggling to get to a sword. Jax is thrown off the top floor for some reason. It was like just complete chaos, and that was the feel of fast and loose, and she gets her sword back, does a kick, grabs a sword, and then puts a blade clean through the zombie. And Kelly goes to check on Jax as he fell into the swimming pool, and she poured him out. He's coughing up with water, and points out who threw him off. And then the story leads off right here with a new character I introduced in the next issue. And if you want to read ahead, you can check out the series at Us on Webtoons. If you like the story, like, share, and subscribe. Check us out. It's 3B Comics. Thank you, 3B family, and see you next time. This is Sean Frye signing out. Peace.